So yeah, I'm on a book buying ban, and I'm not happy about it. Ever since I said that I was going to go on a book buying ban, I've received challenges. People don't think that I can do it. They don't think that I could read 10 of my own books without breaking and somehow succumbing to a coupon that comes in my email or a sale that I hear about. And that's just not the case. I can do it. I can do it, and I will document my efforts here on YouTube. Some of you said, "Hey Danny, what are you going to read?" Well, as you can see, I have many choices. And I spent a good deal of time last night surrounded by stacks and stacks of books. There was a Twilight Zone episode with Burgess Meredith where all he wanted to do was read. And he had really bad eyesight, so he had these big, huge Coke bottle glasses. And when the apocalypse happened, his glasses broke. And so he was surrounded by books that he could not read. That was kind of how I felt. Because I hate the idea of busting open a hardback and doing something that might crease the spine or something. It drives me crazy. But you know that I have crazy book things, which is fine. But what I did was I was like, okay, I've got to make this interesting if I'm going to be able to get through it. Also, I have to give myself outs. Now, Bumblesbee suggested that I would start making rationales for why I needed to buy more books. That I would make weird rules and things like that. Well, I have some rules. But I also have some devices that should help me along. I'm not going to read these in any particular order, but I am going to tell you them in a particular order because there is a design. There's an evil plan at work here. And so I'm going to read 2 dystopian novels. So it's like a dystopian dispute. That's what I'm calling it, the dystopian dispute. And the first of those novels is Wither by Lauren DeStefano. Now, I vaguely know what this is about, and I've heard really good things about it. And I wanted to make sure that I picked another dystopian book that was not similar, because I think that if I had gone with, say, Delirium, that might be along the same lines because it has sort of a relational quality. This one is the one I chose, though, Divergent by Veronica Roth. Now, those 2 books, I mean, one of them's going down, right? One of those is going down. Clearly, this is the cover winner. I'll have those discussions later on in the month. But one of them's going down. Okay, the next thing I wanted to look at was satire. But I decided to switch it up. Instead of just doing young adult satire, I was going to look at how young adult played against adult. And so the books I chose were Libba Bray's Beauty Queens, because I can't stand not reading it. Like, I have to read it within the next week. It's driving me crazy. And Josh Bazel's Beat the Reaper. So I'm just going to read the back of this one because it's pretty intricate. Dr. Peter Brown is an intern at Manhattan's worst hospital. He has a talent for medicine, a ship from hell, and a past he'd prefer to keep hidden. Pietro Brownois is a hitman for the mob, with a genius for violence, a well-earned fear of sharks, and an overly close relationship with the federal witness protection program. Nicholas Lobrato is Dr. Brown's new patient, with 3 months to live and a very strange idea that Peter Brown and Pietro Brownois might just be the same person. So I'm going to just see how these comedic satires stack up. The next thing I wanted to look at was horror. And I did the same thing again where I was going to look at, and this might be a bad choice. You guys tell me if I'm wrong, because I could switch this out for Marbury Lens in a second. I'm going to go with The House of Dead Maids by Claire B. Dunkel, which is it's a really quick read, so it's almost a cheat for my 10-book thing. But it's a chilling prelude to Wuthering Heights. Has anyone read it? Tell me in the comments, because I could go Marbury Lens on this. I might put it in my alternate pile. But anyway, House of Dead Maids for horror versus Gillian Flynn's Dark Places, which sounds so disturbing. How can I not read it? I did start reading this a while back on my Nook, and the opening paragraph is insane. Let me read it to you. I have a meanness inside me, real as an organ. Slit me at my belly and it might slide out, meaty and dark, drop on the floor so you could stomp on it. It's the day blood. Something's wrong with it. I was never a good little girl, and I got worse after the murders. Little orphan Libby grew up sullen and boneless. shuffled around a group of lesser relatives, second cousins, and great aunts and friends of friends, stuck in a series of mobile homes or rotting ranch houses all across Kansas. Me going to school in my dead sister's hand-me-downs, shirts with mustardy armpits, pants with baggy bottoms comically loose, held on with a raggedy belt cinched to the farthest hole. In class photos, my hair was always crooked, barrettes hanging loosely from strands as if they were airborne objects caught in the tangles, and I always had bulging pockets under my eyes, drunk landlady eyes, maybe a grudging curve of the lips where a smile should be, maybe. Right? I mean, Gillian Flynn's writing is disturbing no matter how you take it. Anyway, so I'm going horror in those senses. We'll see. We'll see who matches up. I don't know. The next thing, and this is more of a, it's like sort of an on-the-go thing, because I had this in the car already, but I've already started reading The Iron Thorn by Caitlin Kittredge, but in the sense that I'm listening to it in the car. So this is my on-the-go challenge, this part of it. I am going to be pitting The Iron Thorn, oddly enough, against an arc of Mike Mullen's Ashfall. And it might be disastrous, much like the caldera that explodes in Ashfall. But anyway, yeah, we'll see. The Iron Thorn has started off brilliantly. I've just listened to the first disc yesterday, and it was genius. Ashfall was one of the books that I had on my 21 books that I would shank you for video, and it was enough of an interest to get me to sign up on NetGalley, which is, you know, I'm assuming that lots of you are signed up for NetGalley, or the people who have e-readers who signed up for NetGalley, and it's a good deal. I mean, all you have to do is post something, right? And I was straight up with them. I told them I didn't do negative reviews, so if I didn't like the book, it would simply just disappear. And that's how it goes. The other thing, and this is the last thing, it's a cheat. 2 books that were a cheat for my thing. And that is Maggie Stiefvater's Shiver, which I have read probably the first third of already, but then put down. And then the book that I'm currently reading, it still counts because it'll be read within this time frame, Across the Universe by Beth Revis, and I'm about halfway through, a little more than halfway through. So that's it. Those are my 10 books. Is that 10 books? That's 10 books. I do have some alternates, which I've already decided on, and that is The Marbury Lens by Andrew Smith, Lauren Oliver's Delirium, which is very similar to, maybe it's not, I have no idea. Geek Love, which is sort of a satirical dark comedy by Catherine Dunn. This is an older book. It's already actually, it's got that yellowing on the pages, which I like. Joshua Ferris's Then We Came to the End, which is a sort of a crazy like office comedy satire thing. For the horror genre, my backup is Sarah Langen's The Keeper, and I'd heard really good things about this when it first came out, and bought it and then never got around to reading it, and it has also gone yellow. On my cheat list is Cassandra Clare's City of Bones. I'm probably about halfway through that bad boy, and so I could easily get that done within the 10 days, as well as The Enemy by Charlie Higson, which I'm also about halfway through. I don't know why it is that I can't, I just put down these books and never get back to them. Drives me crazy. Anyway, that's it. If you're doing a book buying ban, I strongly recommend you put some limits on it. How many books are you going to have to read from your own library in order to earn yourself some new bookies?